Uh, don't you don't prepare for life.
No.
You just live.
Yes.
And you don't prepare kids for adulthood because adulthood is a fucking nightmare, right?
Yeah.
You just
Mhm.
you just let them be kids.
Mhm.
What the fuck are you preparing the kids for? You you like most adults are stressed out and unhappy.
Mhm.
Why the fuck would you want to signal to children that that's their future,
Mm.
right?
Uh, are you reflecting on if we look stressed because
Well, I mean,
and,
no,
and
it's
then
not.
they are
It's
getting
not about the teacher. Look at the world around about. Look
yes.
at the rush and the madness and the insanity of McDonald's and Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's given a child a McDonald's burger and a Coca-Cola is equivalent to poisoning them, right? So most adults poison children on a daily basis and are happy with that.
Yeah.
And this is like, hey, we have to prepare you for this future where you're going to poison you. You know,
Mm.
it's. I wonder what's this preparation for? What the fuck do you have to prepare for? Just live. And I'm not saying that preparation is not important, and I'm not saying that there's, obviously, if you're doing something special, if you're doing something big, you don't get a televised World Cup football final without 20 bloody years of preparation in advance, right? So
Mhm.
so there's something there, but I think that there's too much focus on preparation and not enough focus on living and being in the moment, and how this translates for me in my life is that I never quite know what which direction things are going to go in with my work with people. What I do
Mhm.
is I prepare by studying and researching topics that are A, of interest to me, that I think are important, and B, of interest to my clients, that I think that they find important, and I try to absorb information and be aware of what's happening around about me and pick up things as I go, not knowing exactly what I'm going to use wherever, whenever, however. And I think there's there's just way too much emphasis on preparing people for something that people don't know anything about.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's um, you have to believe that the future is going to be good, right? You have to believe that people are going to buy your product, whatever it is, right? I mean, it makes it's better to have common sense and to have realistic rather than unrealistic belief, but that's just examining the feedback and the data that exists within the world around about you and and analyzing it correctly, which is, the correct analysis of how things are developing is as important a life skill as anything else. To see the way that things are going, and um, there's I think teachers in general spend too much time. I think they spend the more time you spend in preparation and
Mhm.
reflection, sometimes it takes away from the
What is
actual.
the actual?
Yeah, like
Yes. And
how is this child today, right?
mhm.
What is this child experiencing now? Because the fact that I planned last night for us to read this book today is nice, but that might be completely irrelevant to wherever they need to be. It might not be. I mean, it's better to. I think it's better to have some plan than no plan. But I I see a lot of people involved in, I mean, all this preparation involved in education seems to be irrelevant when you turn 20. It seems to really be irrelevant. You know, the you could almost take the first 18 years of education for most people and just it actually does appear that half of 18-year-olds received zero education, even though they were educated 8 hours a day for for God knows how many years, right? I mean, just look at
12 years?
yeah, well, exactly. At least 12 years,
Yeah.
and they have zero critical analysis skills or zero ability to appreciate uh, anything or to what would be the example? Uh, to, to understand the processes involved in something. Yeah, like a
Mm.
say. Here's the example that pops into my head. So a person watches a film, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they watch a film in the cinema, maybe they watch a film at home, maybe they watch like a movie on TV or whatever. Um, how much attention are they paying to the actual film?
Movie. Mm-hmm.
You know, if the film's on at home and then there's a knock at the door and then you check your phone and you go to the kitchen and make a coffee or you have to go to the fridge to get something or blah 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 and then you start thinking about something else and it's a complete inability to appreciate what the art that you're trying to consume because
Mm-hmm.
somebody's a series of professionals, maybe 150 people, have put their entire life into making this program, and someone turns around and goes, "Oh, that was a bit shit," just because they didn't pay attention.
True.
I mean, this is the critical analysis skills that we've developed after 20 years of education.
Mm.
Yeah, where we don't have awareness uh, of the ability to critically analyze things correctly, like the ability to walk into a one of the greatest abilities that anybody will ever develop in their life is the ability to walk into a bar, a restaurant, a club, a room, a meeting, and instantly be able to analyze who, where, what, why, when, and understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you walk
Mm-hmm.
into a place and you're able to instantly recognize this is this person, this is that person, this is their relationship, this is the dynamic here, this is where, because when you know all that, you can fit in. When you know all that and you know who you are, you can find your place to fit in. If you're not able to make those analysis skills, and as most people are not able to do that, they're just, oh, what's this? Oh, put this in my shopping trolley. That's game over, right? Because you're not gonna get very far without that element of of critical analysis, and and most people don't have those skills. And I think that too much preparation leads to us being unable to capture that point or that moment, uh,
Mm-hmm.
which is important. Which is the ability to avoid problems. It's like, oh, I didn't see it coming. Yeah, no fucking right. It really, really, I believe you didn't see it coming. Everybody else saw it coming, right?
Mm.
Uh, I thought if I didn't pay my bills for 6 months, it would be okay. That's just actually people who think like that, right? So,
Oh God.
it's 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 wild. It's reality. The real world is a wild place, which is why a lot of us are psychologically scared to put our kids out there. So, oh my God, the real world's it's wild and dangerous. Better keep them in school where it's safe. It's like, well, yeah, we teach them it's safe, and then we throw them to the lions, right? and
Yeah.
they get devoured or or eaten because they don't have those analysis skills. They're not able to realize the dangers
Mm-hmm.
that exist. They're not able to make that self-assessment. Like my son comes to me and says, "Should I do this or should I do that?" I'm like, "Well, you're going to have to make a
Mm.
decision, aren't you? Because if I make the decision for you, then you have no responsibility and I'm to blame for all your problems." Right?
Oh,
That doesn't work with me, right?
yeah.
I think the most important thing to realize is whatever you do, you could fail, but that's okay at this point in
Mm-hmm.
time, right? If you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that will happen. Potential positive, potential negative. Are you are you happy to live with that negative? You know, it's if you are, you know, that's who you are. Fair enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to you you've got to be as optimistic and happy about your failures as your successes.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Balance it
Oh
because it's
yeah.
not only one. Yeah, you have to be happy and take the failures as well because they are opportunities for growth and move on.
Oh yeah. Especially when you're, you know, especially when you're young and you still have that sort of uh, insane persistence. Right,
Mm-hmm.
look. Okay, here's the example. So, an adult will take a basketball to a basketball court or whatever, and they'll take the 3, 4, 5 shots, and if it goes in, they'll shoot again, and if it doesn't, they'll kind of wander off and go and do something else. A kid will take the basketball to a basketball court, and they'll stay there all day, and they'll shoot thousands of times.
True.
But children have this
Until.
insane persistence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they'll probably stay there for 24 hours unless, you know, mom or dad has said be home at a certain time, right? They might just stay there completely because uh, that,
What
that,
they
that
want to.
that's what they want to do. That's where they're happy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when when my son comes to me saying, "Oh, I should don't know if I should do this or I should do that," it it's my place to give him a framework or a strategy, but it's not my place to push him to implement that strategy because force creates resistance. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I can always say, well, this is what I would do, but I know that you're not me, and it might not work for you. Um, so you've got to find a way that works for you and how you do things. And so I'm not. It's hard. We want to do the best. So sometimes doing the best for people
Mm-hmm.
is is doing nothing for them.
Actually, yeah.
We're taking away we're taking away the experience. We're taking away the learning. I mean, the learning is in the process. The learning is in the preparation sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
part of the process. And if the teacher's doing all the preparation and the kids are not doing any preparation, then the kids are not learning anything. I mean, that's the holistic experience. I mean, it's the
Yeah. Mm.
and it's also not involving the kids so much in the process of things, which is really confusing because kids are so much left out of the process of organization that they very quickly learn to to follow everything that they're told to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, it just popped into my head. Here's an example. Yeah, we're all sort of told subconsciously, psychologically, who to follow on Instagram, but we're not told to go out and create posts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're told to follow. We did, and so the it's the process of creation that helps us understand what it what it means to follow somebody who is creative.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we don't understand. So, like if I'm going to town with my kids, I'll say to my kids, "You better take some food." I won't pack food for them.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to
Maybe
town.
just-
We're going to town. You better take your backpack. You better take some water, and you better take some food. Which means they've got to find a container. They've got to find their backpack wherever they left it. They've got to find they got to find a container for water. They've got to find something to put food into, and they've got to find some healthy food. And
Mhm.
it's like, oh my God, we can't find any food. Oh wow, okay, there's no food here. Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
Oh.
It's a problem we're going to have to solve, which means we're going to have to buy more things in the future to be more prepared, or we're going to have to solve the problem as we go.
Mhm.
And and look at all the pros and cons of that. Yes, we can travel lighter, but it'll be more expensive for us because the food, food in a restaurant is more expensive than your packed lunch. So
Yes.
so there's all those elements of things to think about. Like I have now here's a tricky one, right? I never dress my kids. I never put clothes on my kids. I never put clothes on my kids because I'm like, okay, we're going out. You should put some clothes on.
Hmm. And you are happy with whatever your children choose, or you tell them actually it's freezing out. You have to rather take your beanie with you.
Uh, Depending upon where we're going and what we're doing, sometimes I won't say anything, and knowing that they're going to get a little
Mhm.
bit cold, knowing that they're going to remember that, and they're going to dress up warmer the next time. If we're going to the park,
Mhm.
which is only like 2 minutes away, then maybe I'll let them get cold,
Mhm.
right? So that they remember that they need to put on clothes because you don't want to be thinking for them.
Yeah.
You want to be teaching them to think.
Mhm.
So and this very often creates problems that people don't want to solve. But as we've discussed already, we however we live our lives, we create problems, and we have to decide which problems are the problems that we want to solve. We work with kids because this is the problem that we want to solve.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, and so having this style of devolved leadership where the leader has responsibility, but the leader does not aim to direct people to what exactly they should. I've never told my children what to wear ever. I'm like,
Mhm.
I've got preferences. I'm like, I like that, I don't like that, but I'm quite happy to say to my kids, I don't like that, but that's kind of irrelevant, you know. Um, Society has its standards. Maybe it's not good to wear a tracksuit in church, right? But
Yeah. Mm.
but I know me, and I'm not going to judge you, but I know other people will judge you, but I also know that's their problem.
Mhm.
So don't let your don't let your life be ruled by other people's judgments because other people are other people are even more wrong about you than you are about you. Yeah, because they
Most
don't know.
likely.
They don't know. They don't know why you did it, right?
Yeah. Oh.
You know why you did it. They most probably don't know unless they're a psychiatrist or psychologist, and most people are not. So 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 they have they have absolutely they have no idea why you're wearing your red coat instead of your green coat. They've got no idea why your hair is styled in a certain way. They've got no idea. No idea. They got no idea why you're happy, why you're sad, right? They have no idea, right? They've no
Mm.
idea. They've no idea why you're driving on the wrong side of the road, right? They've got a theory, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That reminds me getting a petrol last year in Slovakia, and I
mm,
came to my car, my
mm.
father's car, and I opened the door. It's like there was no steering wheel. I was like, yeah,
Yep, yep,
Slovakia.
yep, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, and it, that just that's happened to all of us, right? That's happened to all of us. It's just all so automatic. I'm like, wheels on the other side. Okay. Yep, or you know,
Yeah.
you go to change gear and you're winding down the window, and I'm like, oh shit. That doesn't happen anymore because all
Uh,
the cars are electric. But I guess like sort of 15, 20 years ago, that was sort of the standard thing uh, to make a mistake with. So um, yeah, there's this ability to allow people to make decisions for them for themselves. Um, like I sent my son to the shop to buy milk. He'd be like, "Which milk should I get?" I'm like, "Well, you." I'm like,
oh, what?
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna freak if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So, you tell me what what you think that that you should get. So, uh, hmm. It's interesting. I mean, they do need guidance. Like,